Hello everyone, this is Carla Royal. I am a professional life and business coach, and I am back with you after several days of not being here because my dog had emergency surgery. And I want to thank you all for the outpouring of love and support. It has truly been amazing and heart expanding, and I just couldn't be more grateful and at peace right now. Pedro is doing well. He is recovering really nicely. So thank you for everything. I want to talk to you today a little bit about exponential thinking, what I call exponential thinking. You may have seen me write about this some in my blog posts, but I want to just talk to you a little bit about this coming off of Pedro's emergency that almost left him paralyzed for life. So exponential thinking is when we take a fact about something and then we add stressful thinking to it, thinking upon thinking upon thinking to it. And you've all had this experience. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So last week when Pedro started to get sick, and it happened all so very, very fast, he had a back problem. That's the fact. He needed to go see the vet. That's a fact. He needed to have surgery. That's a fact. Where I went with it in my mind was to, oh my God, he's not going to be okay. He's going to be paralyzed or he's going to die. And when I do that, when I go there, then I become really stressed out. I begin to suffer because I'm making things up in my imagination. So the tip I have for you today is to wake up to where you are adding thinking upon thinking upon thinking. And the waking up to yourself, how you're doing this, is crucial. It's the first and the most important step. And sometimes the waking up to what you're doing is the thing that will help it release so that you are no longer suffering. You're just dealing with what is. And of course, what is often very challenging. But when we don't have all that extra thinking about it, then we have much more clarity. So the way that you can come back to clarity, the way that you can come back to the moment is to pause, is to see where you are creating stories and narratives that are not true in this moment. Pedro was not dying. He was never dying. That was something that I made up with my anxiety, which is pretty normal. But when I can catch myself in doing that, then I can let those stressful thoughts move through me. You can do that too. Remember that thoughts scream and wisdom whispers. So if you are full of screaming thoughts, then that's a good signal to you that you are not in the present moment, that you are not in your clarity. And it's kind of like an alarm clock for you to wake up to how you're telling these stories and caught in your narrative, and that you can wake up to that so that you can identify that and allow those stressful thoughts to move on through you. So about a year ago, a very, very dear friend of mine had a stroke and was in the hospital for 3 or 4 weeks, and then she died. And I remember very clearly how I was feeling so much sadness and grief, and at the same time I was just fine. In fact, the grief was healing to me, but there were moments where I was really suffering, and those were the moments that I was saying things to myself like, I knew I should have gone to see her. Why didn't I get up there? Why did her husband let her have such dangerous surgery? Why did she choose to do that? Why? And now, instead of just the beauty of grieving, which is healing, I was now suffering with the whys, with the guilt. And I realized that was the problem. And yes, she did die. And yes, I have grieved, but I haven't suffered. When I catch myself and wake up to my stories about it and let go of the narrative that I should have done this, or she should have done this, or they shouldn't have done that, then I'm just free to grieve. And that's healing. So I want to encourage you today to wake up to your stories, to look for them, to identify them, and to just wake up to them. And I promise you, as you do this, you'll get better at doing it, and you're going to feel some relief. So let me know in the comments below if this is helpful to you, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you guys for everything.